Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 107 of Trials and Trebuchets. I'm your Dungeon Master, Luke, and joining me are my players, whose names are...
Hi, my name is Ben, and I play the level 6 gnome dirt boy, Windsor Wallaby, along with his cuddly little companion, Mr. Wiggles. Dirt boy.
Hi, I'm Carla, and I play the lovely level 6 roguelock, level 5 rogue, level 1 warlock, Integrity Idleberry, and my adorable associate, Ida Idleberry.
I see.
Sorry, it's stupid. Bye. I'm retiring now.
No, it rules. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I play Mira Marchand, the level 6 half-elf bard. We finally found the Dread Gazebo. Time to cast Detect Alignment on it.
Oh.
And my name is Sam, and I play the level 6 human sorceress Serenep Cinderman. Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
Nice.
By the greenhouse. Secret.
How many
Underneath the
secret tunnels can we fit
statue.
into this fucking campus? And last time on Trials and Trebuchets, the students searched for Ira Alaro, the dirt girl. Mira searched the old chapel, running into hundreds of screaming birds. She fed them corn chips and asked about Ira, receiving screeches of "Warlock" and "No" in response. Integrity went to the evocation field, finding again no Ira, but an orange eye staring at her from the walls and the floor. Serenepth and Winsler rushed to the greenhouses, encountering a dirt angel as well as a gazebo vader, and with 13
Gazebo
minutes
vader?
left on the clock, descended into the depths of the campus in search of Ira Alaro.
Where in the world is Ira? Alaro!
So, you, Serenepth, and Winsler have been standing on this platform, the light slowly fading. There's a little bit of light because you cracked open the top with your scale, Winsler, and so a little bit of moonlight is coming in. However, you've been going down for about a minute and a half, almost 2 minutes, 90 to 120 seconds, if you want to do the count. And the darkness is quickly setting in.
It's like a trapdoor spider.
And it feels like this is going to go on in perpetuity until you feel this sudden stop of the floor, and out in front of you is an arched hallway in the stone, cut through the stone of the mountain. And it's not like a rounded arch, it's like an arch to a point. It's a minor detail, but it's important to me. The floor underfoot is rough and uneven, but the walls are nice and smooth. There's only the faintest amount of light, so Winsler, you can see just so, and Serenepth, you are likely holding on to your friend as you cannot see, unless you wanted to use something to produce light. But that's up to you. Oh!
I will use Produce Flame.
Okay.
Oh no.
You whoosh a little flame in your hand. It illuminates these brick walls and rough gray stone floor. The path carries on at a slight downward slope in front of you. Beyond the reach of your flames, Winsler, it just carries on. And it just looks like... It's like the top of like this arch just stays at the same elevation, but only the floor is going down. So it's essentially like the passageway grows taller and taller and taller as you walk down.
Ooh.
And as you light up your hand, you and Serenepth would notice off in that darkness, in that distance, the glints of a lot of little pea-sized eyes staring at you. And as soon as like the light hits, it's like a momentary like flash and gleam on like hundreds of little eyes before you hear almost a wet scurrying as things move and creep into crevices in the stone. And then there's no eyes that you can see. You smell this must emanating up this passageway, and you hear running water from down in the darkness. But to your immediate right and left, there are large wooden doors They're both double doors. They look to be well aged and old and heavy.
Does it look like they've been opened
Are there-
recently?
Yeah.
The one on the left has smudges of mud on it.
Aha!
The one on the right does not.
Okay, I think left is the best choice in that case.
Gently open the left door.
Okay.
I
You
say
gently-
with hesitation.
You, Winsler Wallaby, take a couple steps on this uneven ground. You grasp firmly the round door handle, or like it's a hoop instead of like, it's not a handle or anything. It's just a hoop that you pull, almost like a door knocker, and you just pull it with all your force. And standing there in this tall door frame, you see dressed in a cloak with stars on it that fades from a dark blue to a black at the base, with an ellipsoidal crystal head atop brass shoulders, standing roughly 9 feet tall. You see the golem Ari.
Oh,
Ari,
no.
we found the golem. Oh, you guys found the golems, but we as a collective found them.
I don't like this, though. This is scary.
Like the door opens and then
Who knows how
And-
unhinged
on the other
Ari
side
could
of the-
be.
on the other side of the school, Mira's ears perk and she says, "I sense something."
We found them.
Ari's always been unhinged.
I know, but even more now after they're separated from the hive mind that is,
Toll.
and Steven.
Steven. Yogg. What? Not Yogg. Yogg is upstairs,
Yogg.
happily living in.
Yogg, what are you
your
doing
guys'
here?
Room. Ari stares down at you. I think it's been a long while, Winsler or Sarenep, since you've seen like a golem of this stature, so it might be a bit shocking. You're used to Yogg, who's like just under 6 feet tall, right?
Baby.
And so Ari's 9 foot height might be a bit imposing, especially opening the door. It's like you open the door and then Ari is standing right there. Like you may pass no further. Ari's body is in the door frame.
Let's just close the door.
Serenep stops him from closing the door completely.
Windsor's like, oh, sorry, didn't mean to bother you. And starts to close the door. Serenep, you can grab it and hold it open. Ari, not looking down, but still just straight backed, standing upright. You see peeking from below the robes, this odd set of double-sided feet, somewhat caked in mud. Winsler immediately clicks that you recognize those footprints as because you helped build the feet for Yogg, right? Those are the feet that are designed for the golems. Like it's a weird double-sided skeleton.
Of
structure.
course, a fine detail that I had no idea about at all.
Yogg will say,
Yogg.
damn it.
Yogg isn't
We
here.
have to start a swear jar,
Ari
but it's
will
Yogg
say.
jar.
Yeah, when I call other golems Yogg.
Put
I'm so
$5 in
used
the
to it
jar
now.
whenever he calls Ari Yogg.
Ari will not move their crystalline head, but will say, Winsler Wallaby, Serenepth Cinderman.
Hi.
It has been many weeks.
Been about 6, I think. Maybe more. What are you doing down here? Hello?
We're looking for our friend Ira. Have you seen her recently?
I am also looking for a friend.
Shit.
What friend?
Just any friend.
Toll. You might know them. Nothing to confess.
No, I mean, we haven't seen Toll either. So we don't really know where they are. Serenif, back me up.
Make a deception check.
Serenif, back me up, please.
Oh my god.
Please. I don't want to get crushed.
Peeking around Ari, if you were to do so, because they don't fill the entire door frame, just most of it, you would see like a small. Oh no, Ben! What? We'll get to that in a second. Ben's, by the way, audience members, Ben is freaking out very quietly. And behind Ari, you see a brick room. It almost looks like a bunker of sorts, or like a storeroom, like a wine cellar. It would look like almost.
Oh, hell yeah.
For
Where
the
it's-
love of God, Toll.
Is this the G storage closet?
You would see, not standing, but piled in one of the corners, a couple of very squared off looking stone pieces that look like they would assemble to form jeeds.
Oh,
like
no.
a lot of them. And then the hall just extends back. Ari in their hand is holding a small candle also, I should note that. And other than your flame in this candle, there is no other light. So what do you say, Winsler? What did you roll for your deception check?
My total was a 6.
Boy.
Ari will squat down. You hear the creaking of brass and metal on metal, as if Ari has not greased their joints in many weeks, living down here. Ari will say, I have lived here in the depths, in the filth, in the old workshop of the Creator, and you come to my doorstep and lie to my face. I give you a chance to confess, and you spit on me, Winsler Wallaby.
Listen, Ari, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to lie to you. I'm just I feel the guilt. It clings to me like a specter. It really does. It was our fault. It was my fault.
Is this true, Saranep Cinderman?
Okay. It is partially my fault as well because I didn't stop it. I can't apologize enough.
I do not wish for apologies. You owe a great debt to us, to me, to the golems. You desecrated the sacred room of the Polishirium with your presence. Toll paid a price for that with their own life. The one who has turned paid a price as well, and they turn to face you, Saranepth, with that almost. But then they'll regain this neutral posture and will say, the two of you yet have a debt.
What do you mean the person who turned? What do you mean?
Oh.
Ari?
I was correct.
Oh no.
Ari? What happened to Philip? Ari, what can we do to make it this right? What happened to Philip?
There is nothing that is wrong. A price has been paid, and that is all. Philip lives, but has paid the price for his transgressions. The two of you have not. Winsler Wallaby, you created a new golem.
I did.
For this, you are deserving of thanks. However, you have desecrated a beautiful place, the Polishirium, where no non-golem had set foot.
All right. How can I repay this debt? Is there a way?
They take a step closer to you.
I shrink.
And addressing both of you, will say, the golems are unwelcome on the campus for reasons outside of my understanding. And they'll lower the candle and push it close to your face, Winsler, and will say, grant us freedom to return. Clear our name with those who are in control.
All right, we'll do it.
And then they'll turn to you, Saranepth, and not hold the candle so close. Ari doesn't seem to be quite as threatening towards you. Quite honestly.
All machine life hates me.
Do they know I was roped into this, please?
They stand up slightly. Like a person standing not at their full height but semi-crouched down would almost be strenuous for them over a long period, but since Ari is a machine, it's not super difficult for them to do, so they can just like adjust so that their crystal ball is at the same height as your head and is holding the candle equidistant between the two of you. And they will say, as for you, Serenepth Cinderman, you have no allegiances to golems, as it were. Is this correct? You neither hate nor create us.
I have never had a reason to hate golems, no. But I don't have the skill to create golems, if that's what you're talking about.
Except that one golem who left a speck of death.
If I am to believe all the information which has been given to me, your family is wealthy.
Yes.
They will stand to their full height.
I wonder
And
where
will
Ari's
say-
going with this.
To pay for your transgression, Serenepth Cinderman, and they will point with their left hand at Winsler and say, kill him. No. Sorry.
Good, Serenepth.
I had
Good.
to.
Kill him.
Why did you ask the other question? I
They'll
just
point
wanted
their-
to keep you on your toes.
They'll point with their left hand and say, this one has created a new golem. Something different than myself, or Toll, or Stowe, or the Jeeds. Give it life as its own being, as a student, as someone who can perform magic. That is what I ask of you.
The fuck?
So you want me,
Ari being like
So-
cryptic as fuck.
so you want me to create another golem? Or
I want you to ensure that the new golem, which Winsler Wallaby has created, is enrolled here as a student and learns how to perform magic, and then goes forth as a golem in a new age, not servicing a master.
I can vibe with that.
honestly,
I can vibe with that.
yeah, like Serenepth is like nodding her head. She's like she's 100% on board with this.
I'm also looking. I'm like looking up at Sereneth, and I'm like, I'm just nodding.
Very well. Now that that formal business has been taken care of, how might I help you?
Oh my god.
Well, like,
Can I relax now?
Yeah, they stand up fully and like put the candle down, and they're not so menacing.
they were
Jeez.
waiting on the other side of the door with the candle because they knew we were gonna show
You're
up.
That's just they're like, one of these fucking days.
Someday they'll open this door.
Finally, you arrive, you little shits.
I have been waiting for you.
For at least
I'm just
2 days.
I'm just imagining that I think it was a Vine where it's like the bad guy, but he's looking away, so he doesn't know when the hero shows up. So he just starts his monologue and then looks back and they're not there. It's like, oh shoot, and he restarts it and the person shows up like in the middle and he's like, dang it. Serenep is going to look to Winslow, then look up to Ari again, and say, well, like I had said earlier, we are looking for our friend Ira, and we believe that she may be here.
I have a policy of not revealing information without proper payment. If you would like me to reveal information, please tell me information. A fair trade. It has been many, many weeks since I have gotten any new gossip from the campus. I am quite deficient in it.
I know what gossip we can give Ari.
Go for it.
The whole. Have you? We've been getting some weird stuff going on around campus a lot.
yeah.
There have been some stones in the walls with messages
That is
written
what-
on them.
I was going to say that is what walls are made of, but carry on.
And I guess they've been giving instructions to people, and there's been some weird firebug nonsense going on, and there's been quite a few fires going on as well. So the campus is quite in a disarray and messy state, more than
This
it
is
normally is.
This is the juicy stuff which you took away from me, Winsler Wallaby. By banishing me here, you have removed my ability to enjoy such beautiful
All right,
gossip.
all right. I get it. Let's move on from that,
can
please.
imagine.
I don't want any more guilt than
I
I
am
already
not
am
one to hold a
experiencing.
grudge.
Got it.
As for you, Serenep Cinderman,
I was trying to think, because Winsler was there with the whole Pibble situation, so he would already know. Let me think.
What about Snake?
not Snake.
What about Snake?
Oh, is that something we? Sure, okay. And she looks up to Ari and says, for a really long time, there was this giant snake that lived under the school, and it lived in this sand pit, underneath the chapel, but it's not there anymore. So if you went to look for it, it wouldn't be there. But there's it was a giant snake.
I see. This is adequate, I suppose. I will not. As they say, beggars cannot be choosers. And as you are my third visitor in near a season, I will not beg. And they will take a step back and rotate so that you might pass, and will say, your classmate is in the very back. I found her last night in poor sorts and invited her here for refuge.
All right, well, thank you.
I am watching you.
I think as
I'm gonna ignore that. How much time did that interaction take?
That took 7 minutes.
oh my
shit.
god, as because Serenep does not have a process of time, she's gonna as she's walking past Ari, she's gonna stop and rest her hand on where would her hand be in relation to their body? Is it
Rib, elbow.
okay, elbow?
Ish.
She brings her hand and she touches their elbow, and she says, "Do you promise me that Philip's okay? Is he really okay, or because he's been acting off recently? Is he actually okay?"
He is a were-golem.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, you're a golem.
It is unprecedented. No mortal has ever set foot in the Polishirium. The creator did play around with the off-castings, however, of tears.
Did they write anything down of their studies?
It did not kill them, if that is what you are worried about.
Were they different?
In many ways, yes. In many ways, no.
Okay. Thank you for everything. And I know you said you didn't want it, but I'm so sorry about everything.
Come to me when I am free to return safely. And they'll gesture at the pile of... You can see very clearly now, it looks like a bunch of Jeeds had been just dragged down here. And if you know anything about Jeeds, when they leave the room they're supposed to be in, they just completely deanimate and just fall into a bunch of blocks.
Cool.
And so it looks like someone, presumably Ari, just dragged a shit ton of Jeeds, 30 or 40 of them, down into this room. So there's essentially a bunch of Lego kits of Jeeds piled in the corner.
Let me just add
That's creepy.
redemption for Ari and friends to my list of responsibilities.
Winsler has the world on his shoulders.
Listen,
Holy shit.
it's just gonna be a cycle, right? Celti, I go to Celti for help. Celti helps me. I have to give something to Celti or help Celti in return. That happens, indirectly causes some other bullshit. Gotta go back to Celti to help fix what happened,
Hear me out.
and then it cycle continues and repeats.
Hear me out. New Headmaster Crow is very oh, let me know what I can do to he seems more open to help us, if that makes sense.
I don't know if his word is gonna be enough to redeem all the golems, because I think it has something to do with big ol' Stowe in that one place still.
Well, if the creator I'm guessing the creator put that whole thing together, or at least he created Stowe to then put the whole thing together, then clearly it was meant to be there. It's not it wouldn't be that big of a surprise. It would be known that people wouldn't be able to go down there if it was a known thing anyway.
Maybe.
So I think if we admit what we did wrong, then it would definitely clear their name, because it's like, oh, you very clearly were not supposed to be down there. That this is why they did this, and like left like very clearly it's your fault.
Assumption,
Yeah,
but it also might be the cause of my death.
I mean, if it makes you, it would also be a part of something happening to me in that case as well. So
maybe I should ensure that when I die,
Oh,
aha!
Oh God. How about
lich.
How about we?
It all comes full circle.
I imagine we're having this conversation while we're walking through whatever this is, and it's
Yes.
okay. How
you
about
walk this?
I am not divulging any information to you about what I plan to do with that lich information. No way.
But like,
So
Not
So-
now. Not yet.
while Winsler and Serenep walk this, it's this little brick, essentially wine cellar or bunker is what it looks like. It's devoid of any furniture. The floors are like slightly sloped in, and there's a drain in the center. And it's almost like a couple like rooms that are like pieced together, and there's like supporting walls. And you slowly make your way, Winsler holding a little piece of fire in his hand, to the back where you've been instructed Ira is. Meanwhile, I love
where the heck are they?
Oh, hello. It's me in the middle of the episode to interrupt this wonderful and tense times. It's me, editor Luke. Welcome. This is being recorded less than 6 hours before the episode goes up, so keep that in mind when you're like listening. That's the kind of continuity version. The episode is edited. I've done it. The work is done, and I'm just sitting here at my desk procrastinating going to bed because I just wanted to talk to you again so badly and tell you about cassettes. Oh boy, don't I love them. We've been doing this show for 2 years. It's been a wonderful time. It's probably one of my favorite things that I've ever made ever in my entire life. And I get to make it with my best friends in the whole wide world. And it's just a very good time. And so to commemorate that, we made these very, very beautiful cassette tapes, which have our personal favorite episodes on them. And so on each of our social medias, that being Twitter, Instagram, and Discord, we are giving away each of our favorite episodes on each of those platforms. So if that doesn't make sense, there's 15 total, and on each platform, there will be 5 to be getting. So get on there and get there. And if you want to enter on different platforms, that is twitter.com/trialsandtrebs, instagram.com/trialsandtrebs, and Discord. There's a link in the episode description or on our social media from literal centuries ago when we began this fun show. You can join those links. You can go there and you can find more details there. There's posts on Twitter and Instagram that you need to reply to with a comment of your favorite episode, tag a friend if I'm not mistaken. And then on Discord, there's a specific channel you would just go into, tell us your favorite episode, and that's all you need to do to get entered in. This is going to be running, this whole giveaway thing is going to be running until next Tuesday, the 9th of February 2021. So you have until then to enter it. You can enter again on all of the platforms. And a reminder to our $25 patrons, that's the head of the department tier. Please, if you want a cassette tape, please update your shipping addresses in your Patreon profile so that we can send one out to you. No need to enter the giveaway because we're giving you one as a thank you for your amazing amount of support. I think that pretty much covers it. Even if you're not getting a cassette, you should go check out the posts on Instagram or Twitter, because just like the cassette box art is so absolutely gorgeous. We worked with the wonderful Jakob Halleck, and he did an outstanding, perfect, amazing job. It literally brings the cassette tapes from being a silly, goofy idea that I spoke about to my friends for months to being like an actual thing that they were like, oh, okay, that's actually kind of cool. And I hope that you have a similar response and think it's cool and want one just to commemorate this amazing show that we've done for longer than I've done anything else in my entire life. Anyways, let's get back to some fun scenes at Wildcliff. Enjoy the episode.
In the planar research department, Integrity, Idleberry, you have just returned back here, and you've been here for probably 12 seconds, when Mira comes in the other door as you're like going down the stairs when you see Mira come back into the building.
Okay.
Did you find Ira?
When Mira sees me, she will see Integrity sort of like scratching her eyes, like, what the fuck am I seeing? Am I going crazy? I would say maybe like looking a bit unhinged, if that's like a word, like a good word to
It's a good
explain
word.
it.
Everyone's unhinged.
Everyone's unhinged this arc.
Because I'm just like, what am I seeing? Am I going insane? Is this something on the floor just disappeared and reappeared? So I would assume that Integrity's like scratching her eyes, doing like a what the fuck face, as she's walking towards Mira, and I'm like, no, I did not see Ira. I did not see Ira. Did you see Ira?
Oh, damn it. No, me neither. Are you good? You seem a little frazzled.
I think I just have I haven't slept. I'm just seeing things.
Like what things?
Eyes everywhere.
Okay. Like right now, or where you were before, or
I'm going to look around, and I'm assuming there's no eyes right now, Luke.
No, there's no eyes around. Just two really stressed out research or like attendants who are like pouring sand out onto the ground.
No, not right now. There's just eyes on the floor, eyes behind rocks, eyes. There's so eyes everywhere, looking at me.
Okay then, that's weird and creepy. We should probably circle back to that later then and try to figure out what's going on with that. Yeah, I was like, I talked to a bunch of birds. They were super weird. They were like, bring us the warlock. And I was like, I don't know any warlocks. So that was my weird thing. Your thing sounds actually weirder.
I would assume that as soon as the word warlock is like mentioned, Integrity's eyes will widen very quickly, but then return back to normal and get composure back. And I'm like, warlocks, aren't those things like they don't exist? Do they exist? What are warlocks?
Like, what would we have learned about, like, in class about warlocks? Like, what base knowledge do we have? Or, well, obviously she has the knowledge of being one, but what would we know beforehand?
The folklore kind of way that you would have probably, if you did, like, a person on a street would be like, oh, a warlock, isn't that just a synonym for wizard, right? But you learned people, in your spellcraft class, you likely would have gone about through the distinctions of like, this is what makes a witch, this is what makes a sorcerer, this is what makes a warlock, etc., right? This is what makes a wizard, right? And it's related to like the type of nature, or what? The type of magic they channel and like the connection with that. And so you would very, very well, you are familiar with what a warlock is, which is a being who derives power from a contract or pact with a very powerful creature or thing, right? Adjacent to clerics, but instead of worshiping a deity, just a very powerful creature.
Okay. I mean, like, we talked about them a little in Spellcraft. They, like, get their power from, like, making deals with big, powerful things. But, like, I don't really know what they meant with that because, like, I mean, I don't know where everyone's magic comes from. Like, I don't, like, do polls of all of our classmates be like, hey, where do you get your magic? So, like, I don't know what they want. So they didn't know where Ira was, and kind of, like, that's the important thing.
Again, when Mira says something about making deals with very powerful beings, Integrity's eyes are going to like, ooh, and then
Integrity shrinks.
return back to normal. And I'm like, yeah, we haven't heard of any warlocks around, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so.
do they even have any specific attributes to them that we can recognize that they're a warlock or not?
I mean,
I'm
like, I
assuming
don't
not
think
like, a
so.
change
Like,
in the
they
color
might-
of their hair.
What?
Are you saying
Integrity, what are you
Are
talking
you
about?
saying that your hair changing color is not you dyeing your hair, but you like?
So we're friends, and I'm going to scratch the back of my head.
Well, I mean, I guess they're in the greenhouse. I don't know why they're taking so long. Like, I mean, if they didn't see Ira there, they wouldn't be like just futzing around for no reason. So obviously, they must have seen her. So they must be like talking to her right now, right?
Yeah, I think we can wait here, or do you think we should go
Okay.
and grab them?
Let's wait a couple minutes, just because they might come back. This is stressing me out. Okay. Let's wait. Let's see what, like, if they come back with Ira.
Yeah, we can
So-
wait and check if Artist is still there.
He actually dissolved into a puddle of stress.
No, someone
We
just
all knew it was gonna come one day.
someone just like pokes their hand out of the portal and pulls Artist in.
Oh no.
So back in the Golem workshop is what I've called it in my notes. Serenepth and Winsler, you walk along the length of this large brick room until you end up in the final chamber. It's probably 100 or so feet from the entrance. Like, it's a deep bunker. The walls are also like it seems like they're incredibly thick, just based like, that's why I'm calling it like all bunker and using that language, is because like it just seems like exceptionally well reinforced in here, like a well-built structure. And so you see this final chamber. There's a couple very big old wooden work tables. There's no notes or notebooks strewn on them. There's like a couple of old tools that look adjacent to chisels. Like, they're somewhere between a chisel and, if you know what they look like, a hand planer for wood that you use to like flatten out a side of or a piece of lumber. And then underneath one of the workbenches that's like pushed against the wall, you see a black-haired elf. She's just sitting under this table. It seems like she's sitting on a couple of old pieces of cloth, and then on top of that is like bundled up her robe itself, and she's sitting on that, so she's not just sitting on the brick floor. And then like her backpack is next to her, and she's just like sitting under this table, like holding her knees to her chest.
Hey, why aren't you lying
And then
in
she's-
dirt girl?
She does also have a lot of dirt in like her hair and like on her back and sides and arms and hands and stuff. And she just kind of looks up at you, kind of like she almost looks embarrassed when she sees the two of you walk in.
Serenep smiles to her to try and show like there's nothing to be like embarrassed about. And she walks over to the side of the table and sits down on the floor next to her. And she says,
Okay. Winsler, are you gonna just stand and watch?
I'm gonna
Or are
walk
you gonna-
closer and like
Okay.
have the light be
Okay.
nearby.
All right. So you both come in with like a comforting energy.
Serenep sits down on the floor, just outside from under the table, so that she still has like that space. And she's gonna say, "Hey, we were just looking for you to check on you."
Yeah, I'm sorry for getting like she just looks deflated. She looks like she has very little energy, and she just looks embarrassed, I think. Tired. And she kind of like is holding her knees to her chest and sitting on her robe with her back to the wall, and will look you in the eyes, Serenep, and say, I'm sorry for getting you too wrapped up in all of this. I didn't think it would turn out to be a big deal like this, but I really didn't want to go back up. And so,
That's okay.
you know,
She's going to Serenep is going to trying to think of the best way to approach this. She's going to ask, like, "Are you okay if I come under there with you?"
yeah, it's fine.
And she's gonna slip in
I'm not going to bite.
and she's gonna she's gonna like say
Just kidding, crunch.
she's gonna
Which arm?
she's Oh no, that's what the puzzle was warning me of back then. And she's gonna say, are you okay if I hug you?
I'm not really into hugs. That you and Integrity are really into hugs.
Well, like whenever I was really, really sad, my friends would give me a hug and it made me feel better. I just like checking with people when they're not feeling great if they want a hug.
I didn't really have friends, so I didn't really hug people. So sorry, that was kind of... This is all really awkward for me because I, again, just didn't want it to be a big thing. I just don't want to... Like, I was prepared, to go back to Isithil, but I don't know, I'm just scared, I guess.
If it in any way helps, I will admit I'm not exactly happy at the thought of going back either.
Make a persuasion check, Sereneth.
Ah!
Are you okay with that?
Sorry. High tension situations get me all stressed.
You look very stressed out. What's up?
I got a nat 20.
Oh!
Holy
fuck.
shit!
Okay. When you say I am, like, you said I'm also scared about going back?
I'm also scared of going back there.
Okay. She, looks at you very quickly, and is going to say, Did you hear it too when you were there?
What? Hear what?
She looks at you, Sereneth, and I think just because of the way you phrased it, she's going to continue and say, when we were in Isithil the first time, I was with everyone, and we were supposed to be going and setting traps to catch pseudo-dragons, and I was just standing there while Mirandine was setting the trap up, and it sounded like when the trees crack together, or when birds sing and stuff.
Yeah.
It sounded like that, except it sounded like it was talking to me and calling me. Is that what? And then I followed it, and then that's when everyone got hurt. Is that what happened to you too? And she almost looks like, what's a good... She looks, I think pleading the right description of the expression, almost like she wants so badly for you to say, yes, that's what happened to you too, right? Like, she wants so badly for someone to be like, yeah, this is something that happens to lots of people.
But it doesn't feel right to lie to her like that. Like, if we're supposed to be helping, it's not okay to lie like that. I think
Now...
she's... Oh.
No, you go.
What's up?
I'll wait.
Oh.
I think what she's going to say is, I won't say that I had the exact experience that you had, but a decision I made had great potential, and we got hurt. We got hurt pretty hard down there too. I'm not going to say it's the exact same thing that happened to you. I'm not going to do that. But bad stuff happened in Isithil for us too. And I'm still dealing with it.
Winsler, did you want to say something?
Ben, wanted to just see. She mentioned creaking or snapping of trees. And
like trees hitting together in the wind.
Okay. And there were also bird sounds and stuff. I wonder if that is similar to the tree person who I encountered before.
Yeah, that would be... I mean, I think it's very reasonable to say that they are going along the same lines, Ben. That's very... it's definitely evoking the same kind of mental image, right? So I think you're definitely on a good
that
path.
was almost like a warning. I have no idea.
Do you want to bring this up in character, or is this just you spitballing?
It's me spitballing.
Okay.
I don't know if it's anything of note.
Yeah, I think it's good to think out loud. I definitely think that's an interesting connection you've made. Sereneth, she will, upon realizing that no, you didn't have the same experience. Winslow's kind of lost in thought at this point. Sereneth, upon realizing that you didn't have the same exact experience, but you're also still empathizing, like we had a similar terrible turn of events there. She kind of like hugs her knees some more and will kind of say, I'm just really scared that if we go back and I hear it again, I'll do the same thing and something worse will happen. Veldin and like getting myself hurt is fine, but I got Veldin and Karina hurt way worse than me, and I am terrified that something, and it's not like it was something that I heard it and I heard it calling to me and I knew where I needed to go, and it's not like I didn't want to go. It's something I wanted to do, and it's something I still think about in class about if we go back there, what would, and it called out to me, is it something that I would still think I want to do that? I want to go and listen to it and follow this, because if we go back and it happens again and then I follow it again because I want to follow it, what if something worse happens, and what if everyone gets hurt worse, or what if someone dies and then that's my fault? Or what if I go off on my own and they try to stop me, and I don't know. I'm just so terrified of it. And I don't even know what's calling me either. I don't know if it's anything good even.
Fair point.
And she looks at you with these, she looks scared. She looks at you with these scared, almost teared up eyes.
I'm thinking as Sam currently.
Yeah.
I think Sereneth is gonna move so that she's sitting in front of Ira,
Mm-hmm.
and she's gonna like sit cross-legged, like set her hands on her knees, and she's going to say, I know this is gonna probably sound weird. You know half of what it is, and I know this is gonna sound really weird, but let me try and explain it as best as I can, because I'm not great with words sometimes. And that's like her like apology before she says this.
Mm-hmm. Ira like nods enthusiastically. Sereneth, it's like she really wants you to convince her, right?
When I was really, really young, I was terrified of lightning storms. And they happened every year. And it was the worst time always, because I always knew it was going to come. And it's a way of nature. There's not a way you can stop it. And what I ended up doing was I researched it. I went to the library. I sat down with a book on weather patterns, and I researched everything I could on what causes thunderstorms and the likelihood of being hit by lightning, and the everything I could find about thunderstorms. And then it made it easier for me to understand what was happening. Now, me saying this, I understand that it's not exactly the same for you. But I always found that a lot of fear comes from not understanding what's happening around you, and from not knowing what something is. And I always personally found that learning what it was and spending hours reading about what it was, and eventually experiencing it, going outside on the balcony during a thunderstorm and just kind of experiencing it. And while I understand thunderstorms don't really have as much of a magical property, knowledge and having friends who share that knowledge with you, knowing what could happen when you go into a situation, helps you be better prepared to face it and make sure that what you're scared of doesn't happen. And I know you're scared of the trees and what they did, but I believe that because it has happened, and I can't express how sorry I am that it happened. But with that knowledge, you are better prepared to face it and to beat it. And your group, they went through the exact same thing as you, and they are going to be able to help you face it. And you're going to come back stronger. And if you have to go back again, you get stronger every time. You learn it and you beat it.
Serenep,
Yep.
can you make a persuasion check with advantage for me, please?
I'm not convinced.
Winsler's in the corner like bullshit. Okay, that is an 11 plus 6, so 17.
Okay, perfect. Okay. She looks up at you. She wasn't like looking at you this entire time. She's like kind of just looking down at the ground. And when you finish Serenep, she looks up at you. She's teary-eyed. She looks still very scared. Like that fear is still very much there, but not as all controlling almost. Like there's more than just fear in her expression now. And she will very quietly say, she'll nod and very quietly say, thank you very much. I didn't tell anyone else about that. I just told them that I got distracted and wandered off. And it's good to hear you say that it's not just something that I'm crazy for thinking that the trees were talking to me. And thank you so much for just thank you. And she looks at you for a moment and then looks down, and it's almost like gears are spinning in her head thinking about what you said, Serenep. And you sit there for probably 10 or 15 seconds in silence. Winsler, Wallaby, keeping track of time, Mr. Winsler Wallaby.
Yes. How much time do we have left?
2 minutes over. And she'll look at you, Serenep and Winsler, and say, we should get back then. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Because we're over time, I might have an alternative.
Oh.
Time to travel through time.
Might have an
Right.
alternative. I have a question.
Yes.
How long do the door seeds work for?
What do you mean? How long do the doors?
How long are they like active for?
You don't know.
It's possible that even though the portal closed, or we're 2 minutes over and it's too late, we can always try going through the plant door into the book again and retracing my steps to where I planted the original door, so that when we go through that door, we'll end up in Isithil, right outside Selthy's house.
Oh.
When Ira's just like, Winsler, what the fuck are you talking about?
The entire time I was like, Winsler, no. Winsler, no.
Serenep, I think we're kind of out of time. We went 2 minutes over.
Okay. She's gonna stand up.
However,
Serenep starts standing up and stops and it goes, oh?
there's like plenty of dirt around here, right?
Yeah, the ground is dirty and old, and there's
All right.
dust and grime.
I want y'all to be patient for 1 second while I give this a shot, because it might be one of the only ways we can meet up with our friends and teammates and possibly get yelled at.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I am going to conjure a trowel.
Okay, you conjure trowel.
I'm going
It's
to
a little glowing trowel.
I'm going to dig a little bit into the ground.
Mhm. Okay,
I'm going to take one door seed.
okay.
And I'm going to plant it, go cover it, make sure it's all good. I'm going
Okay.
to cast a spell, tiny spell, little itty bitty spell. Where is it?
Tidal wave.
No.
No.
Create or destroy water.
Oh, perfect.
So I'll just take out a few grains of sand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no, a few drops of water. That's what I need. Just a little bit of water,
Okay.
and I'm gonna make a little rain cloud.
Okay.
around it.
You run. You. As Ira stands up and like brushes off her legs and stuff, she also grabs her backpack and shakes it off. Just a bunch of soil gets dropped on the ground. You kind of form it in a little mound. Make a little with your trowel, dig a little hole in it, pop a store seed in there from one of your mini pockets.
Yep.
And then close it back up, make it like nice and compact. You stand up with one of your fingers, you run it along these brick walls that are kind of damp and moist down here in the earth. There's some condensation, and just conjure a little cloud of water, which begins to gently rain on this mound with the seed, and quick fast, a large sprout, as if like a giant beanstalk is beginning to grows straight up, goes up through the ceiling a bit before curling over and forming a wonderful door frame. So it kind of like
That's a weird ass door.
it like cuts through the stone of the ceiling, and the door forms a full door in front of you.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Cool.
Ira looks. Aren't we just gonna go back up through the like garden or the greenhouse?
I've been keeping track of the time that we had, and we only had 20 minutes when we arrived before the portal closed.
Mhm.
So I think we're out of time. So it's a little bit late if we were to go back and do that.
How will they know that we're gonna go through? If won't they just not?
They
go
won't.
Through and then
They won't know.
What is
But-
happening?
This will be our best shot.
Um,
So let's go.
Serenepth is going to hold her hand out to Ira, and she's gonna say,
okay.
if you're worried about wandering off, and she just kind of holds her hand out for her to take if she wants to.
She'll take your hand.
Okay.
And Winslow, you pull open the door
Yep.
and hop on through. You find yourself in the book land.
The book realm.
In that grid between spaces, you see the sky has an orangey tint and hue to it. There's this single path that seems to be leading towards that black square room in the middle that has like stairs up to it and doors entering it.
Mhm.
This is a place you've been a couple of times. You see zero paper anyone's. In fact, a couple of these, so it's like this grid structure,
Yeah.
right? If you recall, a couple of them have just like collapsed in on themselves.
I'm sure that's nothing to worry about.
And so you can navigate to a place that I don't recall exactly where your portal popped up, or your book thing, like your a door into Isithil popped up, to be quite honest with you, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
Nope.
Okay. I think it might have just been one of these doors. The way it works is each of those
I mean,
little-
if there's a
essentially-
path that leads directly to, is it from the door
Mhm.
itself?
I think so. The way that it works is each of those little grid things has a door that it's connected to. Like one of the seeds is connected to those doors. So it's just another one of those like grid things that is probably on this path somewhere that would be reasonably okay to find.
All right.
And you can run and make your way over to that
Perfect.
to find a door that is completely open, is not closed, and you see beautiful. It's very easy to find, I think, because as you
It's almost like
walk
the
down
color
this central
bleeds
row,
into the grid.
Yes, it's because it's just this dark grid with like this washed out colors to it, except for the orange sky, and you see through one of these doorways closer to like that main central area, just a door that is open, and just through it, beautiful, immense saturated colors, and just a coldness almost coming from it, and like. It's like, oh, that's the one. Winslow, you're well aware. You see a big, giant tree
There it
constructed
is.
of other smaller trees. You see a crescent-shaped aquamarine lake. That's it. That's Pitter, all right. And you can hop on through that if you'd like, with Serenepth and Ira in tow.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Okay. And as you two jump through, you feel your ears pop, and you fall on the ground in here.
Oof.
You see, we'll get to that. In the planar research department,
Well, look who wound up on my doorstep again.
what the hell is happening with you guys? Like, what are you guys gonna do?
I don't know if we should go back there, because if we go back there, maybe none of us will make the portal. Artist,
Artist is
what do
like-
we do?
In my mind, I'm imagining you guys waiting at the foyer lobby area of the planar research, and Artist like at the bottom of the stairs. He's gonna run over and be like, "Where is Winslow and Serenepth?"
I think
They were
they're
supposed to be back here 10 minutes ago.
I don't know. I think they must be still talking to Ira in the greenhouse. Otherwise, I don't know why they would be taking so long. Do we go back after them? Or, like, do none of us go through? Do all of us go through? Like, what do we do?
You two go through with the things and with Dessa. Wait for me. Do you know the way to Pitter? Do you know the way?
No.
Vaguely. Not hugely.
Okay.
I kind of remember.
Go there.
Integrity's good with directions. She's really good with directions.
Okay.
Integrity, you know, right?
The two of you go there, say your thanks to the eldest. I will do everything imaginable to find Serenep and Winsler. I will meet you. And he will turn halfway through that and say, Dessa, please, just make sure that they don't get hurt for a couple of hours while you walk with them. And you hear, like, muffled dwarven swearing. And he will run up and grab both of you by the shoulders and say, I am trusting you with so much responsibility right now. Please take all of the packs. I will see you on the other side, and we will have a wonderful and relaxing trip to a marsh, and everything will be fine.
Okay.
I'll be right
I
back.
feel so bad.
And
for
he
Artis.
bursts out, all in purple, wearing a purple poncho, this giant purple backpack, sprinting across campus to the greenhouses.
We got this, right, Integrity?
Yes. And as I do that, or as I say that, I'm going to kneel down and grab all the packs that is not on someone's back. Because I'm assuming that Mira has hers on already. I have mine on.
What color packs are y'all wearing? There's a green one, or what? There's no green one. There's a pink one. There's a orange one. There's a yellow one, and there's a bright blue one. Last time, Mira, you had the yellow one, and Integrity had the orange one.
I'm going to take orange because I think it'll match with my yellow coat without being too matchy-matchy.
There we go.
Okay. So Mira puts on an orange poncho and takes the orange pack. Integrity, which one are you gonna wear as like your actual pack? And the other two you'll just grab.
I'm really feeling the light blue.
Okay, you put on like it's not light blue at all. It's like neon blue.
Oh, neon blue.
Anime water blue.
Yeah, you throw that on and the poncho, and then grab the other two packs, the pink one and the yellow one, and prepare to. I think Dessa would be standing there. She has her all red garb on, similar to the rest of her students. Marundine is carrying his pack as well as Ira's and all of Ira's gear. And Dessa, in Dessa's voice, will say, all right, so you two are to stay close with us until we split off. We're going to split off a few hours, or an hour or so outside of Peter. So you two can head over there by your lonesome, and I guess Artis will meet up with you or something. I don't know what he's going to do with Ira. I don't know where the students are. I don't know how he's going to get there. I think this is between you and me, frankly, this is a horrible idea, but don't tell him I said that because he's my good friend.
Okay.
Are you ready
See,
to
he
go?
has friends.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad he has friends. Yeah, ready to go.
As ready as we can be.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And the 5 of you step through this rift in space.
6?
5.
Well, Karina,
Oh, 6.
Velden.
Sorry. Yes. The 6 of you step through this portal through space and find yourselves in Isithil, the plane of Isithil. And behind you, you hear a very sharp crack, almost like a pane of glass dropping on the floor as the portal closes behind you. And Dessa will begin to trek to Pitter, or I guess in a direction.
The
you'll
remains
split
of
off.
Patter.
And so, with Artis out of the picture, we will end this episode.
Always a good
Listen,
time
this
when
was
Artis
just a
isn't
convoluted
around.
way to get Artis out of Isithil
Yeah.
so he could be safe.
Ben, can you do me an outro?
Fine.
please?
Sure, I can do you an outro. Thank you all for listening to this episode of Trials and Trebuchets. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because oh boy, I can't wait for next episode. If you did enjoy it, do leave a rating and review on our iTunes. We really appreciate it a lot, and we love hearing from you all the time. It makes us feel really good and warm inside. We also have social media pages at Trials and Trebs for Twitter and Instagram. We post a lot of fan art there. We post upcoming teasers for episodes. It's a really good place to get some cool Trials and Trebuchets content. Get that content. We also have a link to our Discord server there as well, where you can hop in and speak with fans of the show and even chat with us as well. It's a really good place. I like it. It's really fun. You meet lots of cool people. It's great. It's fun. I like it. If you're feeling extra generous as well, and you, in addition to supporting the show simply by just listening to it, we also have a Patreon page for those who are feeling especially generous. We have various tiers that you can pledge to, and really what it does is it helps us not only get more equipment to improve the quality of the show that we make, but also to just simply help keep the show going, because we love to do it, and we don't want to see it end anytime soon.
Not that it is going to end if you don't support us on Patreon.
If you don't support us on Patreon, we will end this show right now.
We need $500 a month or there's no more TNT.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. I hope you tune in for next week. This didn't go the direction I thought it was going to go.
Does it ever?
Let's see what happens next time on the Trials and Trebuchets. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a good week.
Bye.
Oh boy, howdy. Well, that was just a pleasant old episode now, wasn't it? It's a new month, and as you know, in the new months, we say thank you at the end of the episodes, ritualistically, as if sacrificing to a god. But instead, it's just a thank you to our patrons. First of all, I would like to thank you, Tamir. Let me know how badly I pronounced that so that I can correct it for you. Thank you very much for your patronage. We appreciate it quite a bit. Second on my short list for this month is Abby Fox. Thank you super duper a ton, Abby Fox. We appreciate your support of the dang show. And then finally, on our short list of patrons is Spencer Cooley. Spencer, thank you so much for supporting our show. It means the world to me. It means the world to me and everyone else, the other people who make this show, not just everyone in the world, that you all support the show month after month, day after day, second after second. And just like I appreciate you all so much, and you let us make this wonderful thing. Anyways, golly gee, I hope that artist finds a way to figure out how to get his until next week. Chowder!